Welcome to Veterans Helping Veterans, a service of Veterans Council of Indian River County. And here's your host, Martin Zickert.
Well, here we are, Monday again. It was just Monday. Oh, it seems like 2 days ago it was Monday. Because a lot's been really going on in the veterans world. We had an event Saturday night. We had casino night. Was put on by the Next Generation. And we had a very, very successful event. Lady Anna Collins and her group do wonderful things for setting it up. We made right at $2,000 on it, which is really pretty good considering St. Helens had their Harvest Festival, which was packed. There was the bonfires on the beach.
Yes.
And a couple other things, and you kind of go, wow. So I want to take a minute. We had some table sponsors, and I want to take a minute to acknowledge them, because that's what makes the whole thing, is when you have sponsorship. And sponsors have been absolutely wonderful. We had the B&W Quality Growers, Rick Lewis Home Cells of KW Vero Beach. Daniel Williamson is a Vietnam veteran with the 173rd Airborne Brigade, sponsored table. Bolero and Bolero Properties, First and Goal Home Inspections, Dill Evans and Associates, and Reliable Septic. We had a lot of surprise sponsors, way too numerous for me to go into on the radio.
Definitely.
But we will put them up on the Veterans Council, both on the website and on our Facebook page. So today we have a special thing going on. First of all, get ready for Thanksgiving. If you're not ready, you don't have much time left. So I personally am going to Colorado. I have a puffy coat. I look a lot like the Michelin Man.
Let's rub that in again.
And I'm ready to go. So it should be fun. Haven't been in cold country in a while. So I'm going to try it again. Let me take this time and we'll introduce my co-hostess, Telly Antona from the U.S. Army.
Yes, the best branch, actually. Well, you guys should know me by now. I am the executive officer of Next Generation Veterans. And I want to take just a moment. I know we had quite a few veteran-owned businesses that were sponsors, but one in particular, First and Goal Home Inspections. That's Jason Patzer, who is a Next Generation vet.
Yep.
And I wanted to make sure I mention that. And she, Lady Anna Collins and Jason Patzer did an outstanding job.
Yeah, they really did. Lady Anna is not a veteran, and that's what makes it even more special. She's with the Treasure Coast Human Resource Association, and that organization helps the young veterans coming home putting together a resume, because one of the most difficult things we have is converting what we do in the military, because we use a lot of acronyms, and we have a lot of different things that we do in the military that don't even exist in the civilian world. Mm-hmm. And one of the things, as you know, is the level of responsibility that they give people in the military that they don't give in the civilian world. And we've got to try to translate that level of responsibility to the employer so that they will look at it and go, oh, it's just not some 21-year-old kid who's doesn't have anything to do. 21-year-old in the Army, you can be a tank commander. You're responsible for 3 other people and your tank. Guess what kind of translation that gives? So that's what Lady Anna does. Jason is a Marine. He's as big as the house that he inspects.
Boy.
And he is a home inspection and does a lot for the veterans. It's when we had Irma came through here, they had a lot of homes that needed roofs put on them or the canvases put on them. And he was one of the lead guys that did that sort of thing. So they do a lot of stuff for us, and we're very, very happy. We're lucky to have folks like that.
Definitely.
So how about introducing our guest?
Well, this is Miss Kathy Alston, who is a great lady that I've had the pleasure of knowing since I moved to
Vero.
Town. Yes. She is with the UAV, which is Upward American Veterans. and she helps a lot of vets, and that's include myself. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Miss Alston. Now, can you tell us what the UAV does specifically?
Sure. The UAV helps veterans financially, emotionally, and if they need some information, we gather it. We do basic or emergency financial assistance.
And you guys, am I understanding correctly that the Impact 100 grant was used by you as well?
No, that's Veterans Helping Veterans. That's
Okay.
another committee. Yes.
And as far as the UAV is concerned, isn't there a certain criteria that the veteran has to meet?
Definitely. We have criteria. The first thing, when we get in touch with a veteran, we want to see their DD-214. That's the most important. And then we have a committee member meet with them and get an idea of what their income and what their expenses are and why they're in so much trouble.
And I know from being in the Veterans Council meetings that you do give a report as to how many veterans that you've helped to date. Would you have a rough number of that?
I do, Telly. Since 2012, when the UAV was formed, we have helped over 600 veterans and family members in this community.
Wow.
How much have we spent?
We have, I knew you were going to ask that.
A rough number.
We spent over $180,000.
That's great.
Oh,
And,
man.
it all started with a $10,000 contribution from Sandy Johnson when we were buying the buses. And the Veterans Council had never had money before, ever. When I got the check for $10,000, I went, what do I do with this? And within a week, a young lady called. Her husband was an Iraq veteran. They didn't have much in the way of money. They had been donated a modular home, and they were going to spend the night in their car. And that's the thing that really got our attention. They had a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old daughters. And that started UAV, and the generous donations of people out there have kept it going. I mean, 10,000 doesn't last long when you're working with people.
We get grants, we get donations, we just scrape everything together.
It's been a real adventure, and what's the impressive thing about it is this is basically a one-time shot. It's not a handout, it's a hand up, as we say, and it's important for people to understand that when you come to the UAV, there are generally some extreme situations, and we've helped. And what you got to remember is we're not helping just the veteran; it's that family that goes along with it. Telly, you've been through this.
I have. When my boys and I moved here initially, I mean, we took everything that we had to move here. And I know that was the first time that I admitted that I was even a veteran. But coming into Vero, I was introduced to you, and you were just a blessing. I didn't know. I've never lived in any town, any city that had a program such as this, and were so loving and caring, to me. And not only that, you've met my children and know how grateful they are as well.
I've seen them grow up.
Yes. Oh, why did you have to remind me of that?
Well, you haven't changed.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Well, it's some of the people that we've helped, which has been important, and it's not just an individual person. I remember I got Diamond Liddy, who is the defense attorney for the county, called me up one time and said, I've got a guy that is getting out of prison, got in with the wrong crowd, and he's rehabilitated, and I think he's worth your help. And We send them to school over in Orlando for truck driver school again. And quite frankly, and the good news is, we've never heard from them again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's what's so neat. You know, there's a lot of places out there that do loans. We'll help you out with a loan, but you got to pay it back.
Well, this is not a loan.
That's the beauty.
And my committee tries to find someone that's going to be sustainable after we take care of them.
Yep. Well, that's the neat thing, and that's the key word, is sustainable, that they can make it on their own after we help them. And there's the other thing that goes along with it is the collaboration efforts that we have. You know, the United Against Poverty does some really neat things. The homeless services that Louise Hubbard provides. So it's the referrals help as much as the actual money does.
I know there's one thing that I want to mention as well that you and actually your husband do right before Thanksgiving is deliver Thanksgiving turkeys to families that would otherwise not get to enjoy that. I've received a couple. And boy, you can eat on those things for months.
We're going to do 10 again this year.
That's amazing.
That is neat. Well, while we're talking about Thanksgiving, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll finish up and talk more about what UAV means to the community and what it means to us as veterans.
White Club Moving and Storage, dependability movers. White Club Moving and Storage. We keep Florida moving. We keep Florida moving.
Proud to be the only Better Business Bureau Torch Award-winning moving company, we provide peace of mind every time when it comes to moving your prized possessions across the street or across the country. With nearly 20 years in the business, we have confidence in our pricing, offering bound rates for packing, moving, and storage to flat hourly rates for help with just the heavy lifting. Count on White Glove Moving to make your move easy and affordable with certification in senior, piano, office, and residential moving as a pro mover. Visit us online at whitegloveusa.com.
866 Glove 10.
Hi, this is Jennifer Toby from Treasure Coast Compassionate Care, serving all of the Treasure and Gulf Coast. We provide a wide array of services, including driving our clients to their physician, shopping, cleaning, making beds, reminding clients to take their medication, providing hygiene assistance, personal laundry and bed linens, preparing and serving meals, providing respite care for caregivers, helping with correspondence, providing socialization, friendship, and support, going on walks and encouraging and participating in stimulating activities. So call us today for an in-home assessment at 772-226-7072. 772-226-7072 or visit us at treasurecoastcompassionatecare.com.
At Outback Steakhouse in Vero Beach, we live by Aussie rules. And Aussie rule number 51 is to enjoy steak anywhere. Now, you can enjoy mouth-watering steaks like Victoria's Filet Mignon, our most tender thick-cut steak, at home with Outback's delivery service. You can spend more time enjoying the food you love with the people you love and less time preparing it. Call or order the bold flavor of Outback Steakhouse online at outback.com and we'll deliver them right to your door. Aussie rules.
Sometimes at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I get a call from a veteran.
And we're back. Here we go again. And we were talking about Upward American Veterans, which is a fantastic program, started in 2012. So we've been running that for 8 years now, and it keeps building. And you'll find that more and more people are starting to realize that we have a really good veterans organization in Indian River County. It's the best I've seen anywhere. I've been associated with since 2008, and it's awesome. So, Kathy, let me ask you about a couple of the cases that you've done. Give us some examples of what we've done.
Okay. The worst part is around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I get these calls from veterans saying, my electric's going to be turned off tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And so I have to get all their information, meet with them, go over to their house, get their information, make sure that they're qualified for us. And then usually what happens, if it has to be done that night or early in the morning, I send it out to the committee by email and they vote. Other times we have a couple weeks that can wait for rentals. One time about 6 months ago, I had a call from a nurse from Indian River Medical Center saying that they had a patient, a cancer patient, that was receiving cancer treatments, and they had to turn him down one day because he had bed bugs.
Oh, wow.
So she called us, and I called an exterminator in the county, and they took care of it. And he was back on his feet and able to get his treatments again in 4 days. We help people with rents. We help people with food. We help people trying to get their licenses renewed, their books.
Yep.
We work with a lot of other people in the community. Treasure Coast Homeless, we've been helping with Habitat. If it's a major job like a roof or an air conditioner and they're low-income veterans, I send them to Habitat.
Right.
And then UAV will pay the 10% down.
Oh,
That's
help 'em out.
outstanding.
I did not know that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Whoa.
Yeah, I know they've helped with the first last security
Yeah.
deposit thing. That's a chunk of money
Yes, it is.
that goes out, and we do have limitations on it. The important thing to remember is you don't give the money to the person.
No, because we learned that the hard way.
Yeah, yeah,
We learned
and
that
the
the
very
hard
first people we helped, I remember it well, and. But the important thing is, you just like you said, people wait till the last possible minute, and then they go, "Oh, I need help. They're going to turn the lights off tomorrow." Well, now you got to go track down whether it's FPL or whether it's Vero Beach, and it's a process. It's not something that you just snap your fingers and individually make a decision.
I had a senior citizen that had an official eviction notice. He was going to be thrown out of his mobile home in 4 days. And I'll tell you what, I spent 2 days rushing around. Treasure Coast Homeless Services helped us halfway. The Vietnam Veterans 1038 helped us. UAV helped us. And that man stayed in his home.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And when you're a senior citizen, there's not a lot of options. And the reason we're doing this radio show is because we think people know who we are, and it turns out they really don't. The word is spreading, but boy, it's slow. We've been at this for 8 years now, and it's building, but it has been slow. And so that's why we do things like the radio show. We bring on people like you that says, "This is what we do. You need to come see us."
I was going to mention that, I think just being in the situation myself, part of the reason why we have a veteran come at the last minute is one, because of what you said, they don't know that the resources are available. And also, we're vets. We're used to, helping everyone and serving everyone. So when it comes to someone serving us, that's just foreign.
It's pride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's pride.
Yeah, I've had that happen with when I was doing it on my own at the very beginning without a board, and that's why I'm so happy that it's progressed the way it has, where it's not just one person making a decision. There's a group of people sitting down saying, "Who is this guy? What does he need? What does she need?" And we've helped him in so many different instances. You just kind of go, "Wow." When the government shut down a number of years ago, I had a lady call. She was going to IRSC. She was basically living off the GI Bill that they, or whatever they call it nowadays.
Yeah, it's the same.
and the government stopped, and she didn't have any money. And yeah, we went out there and we got it. We took it to this college, and again, the best thing going is we never hear from them again. That's the objective of the whole thing. Or if it is, it's on a positive side.
Yeah, unless you're like me and then you get involved.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's an amazing, I'm a miracle sitting here because of because the Veterans Council exists, because you exist, UAV, and all the collaboration. I'm a miracle sitting here, and mention that again, because I received the help. And then I was like, hey, I didn't do that.
But Telly, look all you do for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a perfect example of someone who came here, didn't sing a note until we found out she could actually sing.
I don't think I've ever seen someone, in the middle of a salute, turn your head and look at me the way that you did.
It was the most amazing thing I'd ever heard. I kind of went, who's that little girl? And where's that voice coming from?
I wanted to ask you as well, because you're not prior military, but your husband is.
My husband is.
So I wanted to, get it out to people that they don't have to be military or ex-military to get involved.
No, they don't. I have a few civilians on my committee.
And that's absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's just not about us, veterans helping veterans. It's if it's a situation where someone who isn't a veteran can't donate money, the best thing you can donate is time.
Yeah. And it's not just a UAV. We've got a store in the mall. And I think 3 or 4 people go there every day because they all come to the Victory Center military store. We've got people there that are not veterans that are working. We've had high school kids. The community is really out helping us, and that's what's important. We help them, they help us.
It's an outstanding exchange, and I know I say it a lot every week. Who knows? I've seen it grow in since the time I've been here, and I don't know how you guys function. I know you're supposed to be retired, and that's just not the case.
Well, you have to keep busy. And I grew up in healthcare, and I didn't want to work as a retired person in healthcare. And I didn't want to do work at the animal shelter. So Marty asked for volunteers, and my hand went up.
And just one more question before we get ready to close. How would someone get in contact with you?
They can call me at 305-872-8162, or they can call the Veterans Council of Indian River County office.
And you can always go to our website, veteranscouncilirc.org. So there's a lot of options to get hold of you. And it's important that people know that we're out there. We can use your help financially. Don't feel that you can't send us a check. We'd be happy to take that.
We'll take anything.
We have learned the hard way. There's some things we won't take, and that's automobiles and modular homes. We don't do that. Well, Kathy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in and telling us about UAV. We will have you in again because it is a continual process, and we're looking forward to it. So, Telly, thank you. You have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
Both of you.
Thank you, Telly.
You as well.
And if I don't freeze out there, I'll be back on the Bruce Cady will be here next week talking with Telly about the young troops.